So let's do a quick overview of this idea of a facade that has kind of a hierarchy to it. We have some strong vertical columns, some intermediate kind of minor columns happening. We have some sweeps, a primary sweep and a few minor sweeps, and the top one actually could be a primary sweep. As a matter of fact, let's just change that to a major sweep, just so you can see the change that we can make. So I'd like to really go through this project in a little more accelerated fashion, not that because what we're going to do is just duplicate a lot of techniques that we've already learned. So let's just take a look at what we have. We'll go to the site, and I've laid out a grid system. If we zoom in here, you'll see that it's 10 foot on center. I've created basically minor and I'm just going to try and move this one out. I'm sorry. I just made an angle out of it. Pull it. I didn't want to grab all of them. I'm going to unlock it and pull it down. So I have the minor or the major column ones pulled out in front, the minor ones back in order to set up that kind of hierarchy. And if we look at the south elevation, you can see that I've created levels 1 through 5 with levels level 2 being 20 foot to create a podium or a larger first floor, and then I have 14-foot intervals going up to the top of the building. So it's just a start, and let's take a look at, I think I have another view here that might just show it as an object. And I think what we'll do now is we'll just go ahead and basically delete out all these elements and reconstruct them. So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that we have here. Oops. Sorry about that. Beep. And we'll go to the site, and we'll go ahead and start with a wall. Excuse me. Architectural, and I'll leave in this file, just to make things simple, our new brick wall, which happens to be 12 inches thick, and I'll stretch it out across the whole interval of the building. And I want to make sure that it goes from actually level 2, because we want that open podium area, up to level 5. And I'll apply that, and we'll just verify that by looking at it from the 3D view. So there we have our primary wall system. Now let's go ahead and see how we'll introduce columns to this. So I'm going to go to the column tool, and they're both structural and architectural, and we're going to grab the architectural. And I think I've already created a few that we can use. I made a 48-inch wide pilaster column that I call it. And if we go to edit type and look at it, we know that it's covered with new brick, so it will match up with the wall. So I'm going to click OK for that. And I'm going to go ahead and start placing that. Now I want that to be proud of the wall system. Let's see how we could adjust this. I'm trying to see. I think for now I just want it to line up with the back. And I've placed one, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and copy these through. So you notice I've just lined it up with the back of the wall. And we'll go ahead and put it on copy and multiple. And then I'll just grab it. And I'm placing it at every other interval. We're trying to create a bit of a hierarchy to the structure. And we'll see if we've made a mess or not, and we kind of have. We haven't made these extend upright. Obviously no problem. So I'm just going to right click and select them all. And we'll tie those up to level 5. And now we're starting to build that idea of a bit of a hierarchy. So let's put a minor column in now at that second interval. So I'll go back to the site, and we'll grab the column tool again. I must have grabbed structural, column, architectural, and we'll look for that minor or shallow pilaster, and we'll go ahead and place that. And I'm just going to sit it here because it's trying to align up, and I want to move it specifically. So I'm going to set it. I'm going to use the move tool to place it right at that grid intersection there. It's not actually snapping for me. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to move it to there, and then I'm going to make a secondary move to get it to touch that back wall, and it'll stay in a 90 degree. And I placed it a little bit in the wrong spot because it's not the first one, but we'll go ahead and we'll start copying it over in this direction. And I'll come over here and copy the last one. And then we will take a look at that. And once again, well, there's two problems with it. It doesn't have any, this may be the wrong element. Let me see if I can swap this out. It's 24 by 24. I thought I had one with brick, and I'm not exactly sure what's happened to it here. Okay, so let's go ahead and modify the shallow one. I'm going to go to Edit Type and add the brick texture back to that. And it could be that I made it assume, let's go to Appearance. I've lost my screen display here a second on my end of it. And we're going to add our brick texture. Whoops. I'm going to select New Brick. Go OK. It didn't select it. Hold on a second. Okay, so they all have the brick texture now, and we'll get them aligned right. I'm going to select all instances, visible in the view, and we want to go from level 2 up to level 5. And there we have the start of our construction. I'm going to end the video clip right now, and then we're going to pick up with adding sweeps to the wall surface.